This presentation is about DIBELS, Dynamic Indicators of Basic Early Literacy Skills. We will first describe why we use DIBELS, then explain how to use it, and finally we will present some research related to DIBELS. DIBELS is a test of reading. It is used to assess essential early literacy skills from kindergarten through grade 6. These measures are typically very short and take about 1 minute to administer. DIBELS can be used as a curriculum-based measurement to identify students at risk for later reading difficulties, and it is also used to assess progress. However, unlike CBM, DIBELS consists of standardized items rather than using materials sampled from a district's curriculum. DIBELS includes 6 measures for 5 different key domains of reading: phonemic awareness, alphabetic principle, accuracy and fluency, reading comprehension, and vocabulary. DIBELS are used for several reasons. First, to identify students at risk who need more instruction, and then to monitor the progress of these students after receiving more direct intervention. Second, to monitor classroom progress as a whole throughout the year. DIBELS can be administered 3 times a year: at the beginning of the school year, middle of the school year, and end of school year. This allows teachers to follow student progress. DIBELS are a great screen and progress monitoring tool in response to intervention model. Students can be identified as needing extra support, and instruction can be modified accordingly. Third, DIBELS contains standardized benchmark goals for each measure and time period using a minimum cut point. A student meeting the goals is considered to be on track for becoming a successful reader. DIBELS can be administered not only by teachers, but also by volunteers and other professionals. DIBELS requires only minimal training. Although at-risk students are being assessed, the primary use is with whole classes. DIBELS can be administered manually and also on different types of mobile devices.
Let's look at one specific example of a student who could benefit from DIBELS testing. John is 6 years old. His entire class is given DIBELS assessments at the beginning of the school year for the purpose of progress monitoring, and John is found to have reading skills significantly below grade expectations. Because of these results, John receives intensive reading intervention. He's given a second DIBELS assessment midway through the school year, and clear improvements are found. With the intervention strategy validated, John continues with his reading program. He's assessed again at the end of the year, and his reading is shown to have reached grade level. DIBELS includes 6 measures for assessing students from kindergarten to grade 6. First sound fluency tests phonemic awareness, hearing and using sounds in spoken words, and is used for assessment and screening of kindergarten students. In this measure, students are read a word and then asked to identify the first sound of the word. For example, moon. What is the first sound in moon? Letter naming fluency does not measure an essential literacy skill, but is instead used as an indicator of risk for kindergarten and early grade 1 students. Students receive a page of randomly ordered upper and lowercase letters and are asked to name as many of the letters as they can in 1 minute. The number of correct letters are then tallied. Students are considered at risk of achieving benchmark goals if they perform in the lowest 20%. Phoneme segmentation fluency is another test of phonemic awareness for kindergarten up to early grade 1. In this measure, students are given a word and asked to state the different sounds that encompass it, like soap. What are the sounds that make up soap? Nonsense word fluency tests knowledge of alphabetic principles and phonics, knowing the sounds of letters and sounding out written words. Students receive a list of nonsense words that they are asked to sound out. With varying levels, the measure is used for students in kindergarten, grade 1, and early grade 2. DIBELS oral reading fluency tests advanced phonics and word attack skills, accuracy and fluency with connected text, and reading comprehension. The test is used for students from grade 1 up to grade 6. Students are given a story and asked to read it. They're told that if they're unsure of a word, it will be provided. They're given 1 minute to read, and examiners mark the number of errors made while reading. After completion, students are asked comprehension questions about the story they just read. DIBELS tests reading comprehension and is used for grades 3 to 6. Students silently read a passage. Approximately every seventh word is blank, and a maze of optional words are available to choose in order to fill in the blank. The measure is used for students in grades 3 to 6.
Students' first grade DIBELS oral reading fluency scores significantly predicted future reading proficiency on independent tests of achievement. Similar findings were obtained with children in grades 3 and 4. The oral reading fluency test was also found to be a better predictor of comprehension than the remaining subtests, including a retail fluency task designed to measure comprehension. A high concurrent validity was obtained on the DIBELS compared to the Woodcock-Johnson tests of phonological awareness and informal teacher ratings questionnaires. The DIBELS can, however, generate false positives when compared to the more intensive test of phonological processing in kindergarten classes. It is therefore suggested using DIBELS only for screening purposes in kindergarten. The DIBELS are extremely reliable, and the test-retest reliabilities with all of the subtests are in the 0.9 and higher agreement range. The DIBELS also show a high inter-rater reliability, test-retest reliability, and equivalent form reliability. Overall, research suggests the DIBELS is an effective tool for monitoring students' reading skills progress. For example, in a recent study in 2017, grades 2, 3, and 4 students identified as at risk for reading difficulties were studied for 4 weeks. The results indicated students improved their reading rate by approximately 1 correctly read word per minute per week, with considerably lower variability in their scores than shown in previous research conducted with less controlled passage sets.
If you're an educator looking for a strong reading assessment tool, we hope you choose DIBELS.